As long as you don't move.
A long discussion on the maps.
Do we have the folks online? Who is Sean?
Yep, Sarah's on here.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't seen Sean yet. We're live on YouTube. now.
These raspberries do.
I just don't know if I should go ahead and start this way.
Well, we're just doing
I can
the
double
public hearing first.
Swing those around so they'll be facing the south.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the planning commission public hearing to order at 6:30. We'll start with roll call.
Right there.
You need it. Yeah.
Sure. Sorry about that.
You want to test your mic really quick, Sean?
Yes.
Okay. Tanya Harrison here, Mark Hall,
Here.
Chris Boland,
Here.
Sarah Tremblay.
Here.
Chris Rainey,
Here.
Gail Foodie. Here. Sean Denadel.
Here.
That makes it quorum. Okay, so we are here for public hearing for variance permit lot 9, block 6, USS 2981. You wanna-
My name is Pamela Susan Scott. We live at 204 Boardwalk Way, and we would like variance to extend our garage another 12 feet toward the highway or the south. Because we need more storage and we're gonna lose our storage we've had for 40 years, and now we need somewhere to put more of our stuff. So it's just a 12-foot wide garage. You can squeeze 2 cars in there now, but we need a little more room. And that's what we would like to the variance for. We're 3 feet from the property line. I don't know what year the garage was built onto the house. The house was built in 1918. And it's 3 feet from property line with Crestwell's. And we would like to keep that line just for the, because we don't want to go 5 feet. It would look very good. And it's 2 feet, so that's why we would like the variance. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Don Scott, 204 Boardwalk Way. And, yeah, to move it over 2 feet that's adding 4 more feet of wall, 4 more feet of concrete. And it puts a jog in it. And I don't even think I put that siding up almost 30 years ago. And I don't think I can find the stuff I need to make the corners and stuff that are on there. So it just be easier just to go 12 feet out, and our lot isn't a lot, I think it's 50 feet wide. But we have that embankment that goes down to the highway. So we're very limited on room and what we can do in there. And that's why I would like the variance, like my wife said, we're already there. And so we'd just like to extend it and keep the lines the same instead of trying to break everything up. It'd just be a lot easier to make a straight line than to jog it over. So like Susan says, after 40 years, we're losing our shop. So we think, if we don't know, so that's it.
Thank you. Any other commenters? for the public hearing?
Sure, how this process works exactly. It's past my bedtime, so, I'm Mike Cresswell. I'm, Dom's neighbor, great neighbors. I'm not sure at this point, do I have to tell you guys oppose or yeah, I either oppose it or I speak on how you space on that. Yeah, so what I'd ask the commission to do is give us defer a decision on this matter, as we're currently working with the surveyor regarding some other details surrounding our property. The original survey was done by someone who is still in business-ish, but has not been responding as of last October to any communications. So we had to find someone else. He's in the process of arranging a number of surveys here in town to reduce the cost to individual clients. So instead of coming down for one client, he's trying to do 3 or 4. He currently has proposals out to three or four. I spoke with him today, and he does plan to come down in the foreseeable future. On the merits of it, I don't have any issues. I would like some time just to actually look at some additional data regarding the property after, you mentioned your name. His name is Aaron Brown. He's with Vector. I don't know if it's a known quantity that's who we're working with. And he expects to be here sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So I simply ask that you guys defer a decision at this point until we can look at the data and have an opinion. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Public hearing? Anybody online?
Yeah, just one thing, with the point there is, it's not our property lines where we join, it's down on the roadway that he's trying to get straightened out. So.
Yeah, these are issues that predate all of this
Predate
by
all this,
quite a
yeah.
long time, and I just need some clarity about some survey markers that are. A number of people have looked at and have various different opinions on. The state has an opinion. They're all moving parts. So we've retained someone to get some clarity. So we know what the status is. There's some other issues that impinge on this as well that aren't related to the variance, but we just ask that you indulge us by referring to this video.
Okay, any further comments? Okay, we can adjourn the public hearing at 6:37. And we can call the planning commission regular meeting to order at 6:37 and start with roll call.
Tanya Harrison,
Here.
Mark Hall,
Here.
Chris Boland,
Here.
Sarah Trumpley,
Here.
Chris Rainey,
Here.
Gail Foodie, here, Sean Denadell.
Here.
That's a quorum.
Okay, do we have approval of the agenda?
Madam Chair, I'd like to amend and move new business E to before A. Second.
All those in favor of the agenda as amended with the request for an E in front of A?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, the agenda has been approved with the, change. We have approval of the consent calendar.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, consent calendar is approved. Any disclosures of conflicts of interest or ex parte communications? Hearing none, don't believe we have any correspondence. Communications by petitions from visitors. We don't have any guest speakers, audience comments regarding agenda items. Do you have anything additional you'd like to say? Okay. Planners report.
there's not one included at this time.
Any questions for the planner? Okay. There's no unfinished business, so we'll go ahead and start with new business. E, request for variance on page 43.
Madam Chair.
And before we begin, I guess I would just like to note, hopefully everyone's had a chance to look at the packet, but the motions always are in the affirmative, but, this motion would be not to grant it because it follows the staff recommendation. So there are, the 4 criteria we will have, if we move forward, we have to specifically spell out how it meets those, criteria. We can't just go with the planner's recommendation. That make sense?
Right.
Okay, we can discuss it as we move through the discussion, but that's just something I wanted to point out, that there are the criteria for granting a variance, those all have to be met, and we have to specifically state what those are.
Okay. Madam Chair.
Yes.
I move to grant the variance request submitted by Donald and Pamela Scout, Scoot. And to include the findings and conditions of the planning commission.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Rainey, would you like to speak to your motion?
Okay, as just a general. Feel for, you know, what we like to, what I would like to, approve as a variance and what I wouldn't like to approve. This doesn't really raise any red flags, this. Is part of an existing structure, it's, you know, following the exact same lines, it's not really encroaching on. Existing structures and is unlikely to in the future is my reading. I don't think that the objections raised really bear out in this case. Because if the property lines are in question, then the variance, it's saying that it has to be 3 feet away from the property line. So if the property line shifts, then they'll have to come and get a different variance to do this build. So yeah, I don't really see how that's relevant to this specific case. And as this case exists, I don't see any reason not to grant it.
Any other comments? Well, do you have a question?
I heard 12 feet, but I read 14 feet.
I think that,
Supposed to be 14 feet deep and 12 foot wide.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, we originally wanted 14 feet, but we went out and measured, and I don't wanna disturb that hillside. So we brought it back to, so it'd be 12 by 12 instead of 12 by 14.
Okay.
So it'd be 2 foot short.
okay, Commissioner Rowland, would you like to speak to your second?
I concur with Commissioner Rainey. I don't see it impeding the neighbor's property, any kind of health safety issues. Snow removal or anything like that. I think it's a pretty straightforward thing and that's all I have.
There, Commissioner comments?
Oh, yeah, I wondered about, our big trees that are getting blown down more routinely. Are we considering the, risk of, building so much that we don't have any, safe, places that won't landslide, given our changes in our weather and our flooding and our changes in weather every other day. I have been seeing a 50-mile-an-hour wind every other day. One day it's but it's and I've noticed the trees that used to be here forever are getting blown over. And am I out of line?
Well, I think that the variance, the request for the variance is just for the. To go from 5 foot to 3 foot, it's just on that property line.
Oh,
They're not requesting a variance for anything on the front of their property, they don't need to for that,
oh, okay.
so. That's my understanding,
They're not asking for a variance,
they're not asking for a variance for that, yeah.
but that was my concern. One of my concerns is. There's that slope there, and he's already started to address it by moving it back 2 more feet. But it's getting real close to that slope. And I don't know. How far of a setback it is for a slope.
There's not a setback from that slope. It would be a backyard setback that you would have.
Right,
And he
what-
needs it.
and his backyard goes out into the road down below, so. He's got a lot, he's got more than enough room. Because of that slope. Cuts into his, that was my concern. My other concern is. The main reason for the 5 foot. Was to maintain 10 foot between buildings. If we grant this. Casuals. We'll basically lose 3 feet of building space. Because. If we slide it over, what?
Well, they would still need to meet a 5 foot setback and that would be the same there, so that they wouldn't lose any.
But there needs to be 10 feet between buildings for fire safety. And so it does impact the adjoining lot when we start letting people move up to this lot line, there still needs to be the separation between buildings.
I would have to double check on that for fire safety and stuff, I'm not sure.
But in reality, there's really not much there because you can't get access from down below. So sort of a moot point, but it's just a consideration.
Any other comments? Commissioner Donato, any comments?
Not having comments.
Okay, so I guess I would just like to go back to what I was originally saying, so say again?
Sarah.
Oh, sorry, Sarah, Commissioner Friendly, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, I'm good. No comments at this time. Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes about the screen behind me. Okay, so the variances have to, where did this go? So the motion on the floor is to include the findings and conditions of the planning commission. So this would have to not be including the findings of the planning commission, because we have to specifically state how does this meet the 4 variance code criteria? That's correct, Amanda, right?
Yeah, so staff made the findings that are before you now, the planning commission made a motion to bring their own findings. So you would need to go through these finding criteria and then, give your own findings.
And then I think one of the issues brought up is the under non-conforming uses, no non-conforming use shall be enlarged nor increased nor extended to occupy a greater area of land than was occupied as of the date it became non-conforming. So we just need to go through this and generate our own findings for those 4 criteria. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Really the first 2.
Right, cause the staff, found that it met two of them, so.
Right.
And if need be, we can. Adjourn and have a special meeting to. Create these or look. To come up with these findings, because that may not be something we can do. On the fly.
You can also make, we can have a recess and you can look over your findings and. Then we can come back and then you can discuss them, it might give you time to read through. But if you wanna discuss, then we need to stay in the meeting.
You wanna just go through them real quick, the first two, at least. We concur with C and D, so that's really not an issue,
Right.
it's just.
Okay, so let's. We can just go through them, discuss them, and then we can. See.
So I guess start with that.
Yeah.
That there are exceptional physical circumstances or conditions applicable to the property or to its intended use or development, which do not apply generally to the other properties in the same land use district. Staff says it has not been met. It doesn't have any exceptional physical circumstances, condition to apply to other low distance districts. However, applicants are requesting build in an area unaffected by the bluff side. Proposed garage extension can meet the 5 foot setback without. Part of this goes back to that whole area. That whole area was surveyed and don't know if the survey followed the construction or the construction didn't follow the survey. You know, which came first. But that whole area is a mess.
Mhm.
And as far as survey wise, I'm a former surveyor, so.
Oh, we know it. Yeah. We know it.
So, this is an exceptional area in that regard though, because the survey is so messed up in that area. There is potential that he could sell you 2 feet. In that one area, make a little jog going, if he's got a surveyor coming here, that would be that would solve any waiver needed.
It just takes money,
It just takes money.
and on a retirement income, you don't have a lot.
I'm there. I'm done.
Yeah.
Can we open this up to the public for comment? Ma'am?
I mean, I think you can ask questions of.
Well, I would like the neighbor's opinion because he's the one that's actually being affected by this request.
Right, that would be a fair question.
I just want to echo your statement that that entire area is house environment. From a survey's perspective, which is why we're simply requesting, we're not having a definitive opinion one way or the other. We would just like some clarity on some questions and issues and which are percolating up for the commission right now. We would simply ask that you indulge our request to defer until such time as our surveyor we can get with our surveyor and get some clarity on what these various different surveys and historical events mean for this question and potentially other. So that's all we're asking. And I appreciate your comments, because it is, to say extremely ambiguous is an understatement.
And the next surveyor could come in and move that line without. It's not gonna be in the exact same spot. It's gonna be in the same spot it was, if he can find the pins at each end. But who knows what he's gonna be finding and how he's gonna adjust it, so.
3 people from the state and 1 private surveyor and my neighbors and I have all gone down there and scratched our heads and what does this mean? What is this? So, and as I said, the original survey we had done, we're not able to reach the surveyor. He's apparently in Africa, so I'm not sure what to do with that, except find someone new and then either pay them twice as much to come here for my specific project or wait until he has 3 or 4, which puts this in a normal range of, financial feasibility to have looked at. If that's all and these are great neighbors. This is not about the.
Yeah, this isn't about.
Yeah.
Neighbors.
No, we're just like.
Yeah.
But the property markers, the survey markers between our 2 homes are there.
Yeah.
The ones that are on the as-built survey that we included, so. But yeah, it's an interesting little street,
Considering we're only 7 feet out into the road.
yeah.
I can show you where the marker is.
Yeah,
Got one in mind,
What's that?
I've got one, same thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's was A, do you have any other questions?
No.
And the criterion B, that the strict application of the provisions of this title would result in practical difficulties or unnecessary hardship. Staff found that criteria has not been met. Applicants are able to meet all zoning requirements, such as side and rear yard setbacks, parking, height limit, and lot size. They can meet the 5-foot setback requirement and complete the addition to the structure without following the same non-conforming 3-foot setback they currently have. So I guess the commission would need to come up with different findings for those 2, A and B. And it is also possible to defer this. Maybe.
I believe would be, the city's definition of hardship versus a property owner's hardship could be 2 different definitions. And, I mean, cost, time, all that, can play a factor into those kind of deciding factors, so.
Then I guess the other thing that would need to be addressed is the rule regarding non-conforming uses. That no non-conforming use shall be enlarged or increased nor extended to occupy a greater area of land than was occupied as the date it became non-conforming. Because this is an extension of an existing structure.
Is that, I've watched you, is that non-conforming 12 feet?
The existing structure is non-conforming. And it was because, and it's been grandfathered in because it was built before we had.
Right, so it kind of conforms with the structure, right?
But the addition is now expanding, it's
Expanding in.
if you are, by adding on to the structure, you are enlarging to occupy a greater area of land than was occupied as the date became non-conforming. Right, so the idea is that if a non-conforming structure was built prior to the code, whatever gets built there has to be on that same footprint. And I guess that just needs to be, we just need to address that if we're gonna move forward with this.
I have a question for the planner real quick. Yeah, so Amanda, so the staff found that A and B were not met,
Yeah,
but we don't actually need those to have met to pass the variance.
all four have to be met to pass the variance.
Okay. So when it. So when it says. Request the variance to include the findings and conditions of the.
Of the,
Okay,
of the planning commission, cause normally it would say
of the staff,
yeah,
okay,
staff's approved findings and conditions.
So we just need to redo.
So basically, yes, we would need to redo findings A and B and address.
The
The
non-conforming uses
non-conforming
of
uses.
specifically 1 and 2 there.
Yep. I think it's specific, yeah, one is what I think would be. And this is like, this is from our code, so I just, if we. See how the commission would like to address that.
yeah, I was under the impression that we were given a little bit more, leeway on, decision-making basis on that regard, but, I mean,
In terms of the code,
in terms of the code, yeah, I thought we were getting a little bit more, leeway on that.
I mean, I guess,
Well. Like what the other Chris said. For B. It becomes the city's definition versus. The practical. Applicant definition of what a hardship is.
Yeah,
And if we wanna say. The city's got a solid line and they can't cross it. Then we'd have to deny this, but if we look at. What we interpret a hardship versus what the city.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we have to
Yeah.
overrule what the city said that. It is a hardship. We have to say, or it's, the city saying it's not a hardship and we're saying it is a hardship.
yeah, cause my main consideration going into this is, like, does it actually encroach on the neighbor's property in like a meaningful way? Like, are they actually planning on building something there? Is that practical? And I did not see that it was, and the comments as such did not mention that it was gonna be a hardship. Therefore, I don't see any reason why they should not build there. But if we're having to be more regimented with it, then, yeah, I guess I want to hear opinions on it.
Madam Chair,
yes,
I feel that the hardship conditions have been met with, the comments stated by the property owner with, how to build, cost of build. Et cetera.
yeah, I think that we can, my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, that we'd actually have to come up with our own, statement. For
Yeah.
those criteria.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, he did say this has been met and how it has been met, so that does meet the definition,
For B, yeah,
yeah.
and then for A, so basically we still need to address A and then address the code for the non-conforming use.
Mark, I think you kind of already mentioned that with A.
That. It's just because of the way the area is. And all the survey lines are. Done by. I don't know who did them. And I don't wanna retrace them.
So the exceptional visible circumstances, poorly drawn survey,
It's not that it was poorly drawn, it just wasn't. Followed, it didn't follow, the construction did not follow the surveys. or the surveys didn't follow the construction.
Whichever. came first.
And whichever came first, and it predated any city real management of the area.
Mhm.
And so, you know, we're going back and trying to fix a problem from 50 years ago,
Mhm.
and I don't know if allowing this would set a precedent, but
There are an awful lot of places in Cordova where their surveys are a little sketchy.
yes,
Sure.
Yeah.
I believe the conditions A have been met due to the, surveying of the area, with the, also with the geographic of the land in that area as well as slope.
Okay, so, criteria A has been met with, given the survey issues and the slope of the property, okay? So, any commission comments on those findings?
Madam Chair.
Mhm.
I concur with, conditions, C and D as per staff.
And then the last thing to meet is non-conforming uses. Do we need to, how do we address that?
There's nothing then to meet with that, that's just a applicable code that's on there. Let's see. If there's any conditions that you wanna set on approval, of the variance, you can also do that at this time, it's before attachments on the end of the memo.
one thing, because he's already done it, it's reduced to a 12 by 12 versus a 12 by 14. So we'll keep that, we'll make that addition. I kind of want to say, hey, can we put a 60-day hold on? No,
No. I think the thing to do there would be that we defer, we can refer back to staff or defer our decision.
You can refer it back to staff, and then we have, I believe, 30 days to make a finding, and we would have to hold a special meeting. So that would be the other option if, this either gets voted down tonight, or if somebody amends the motion to refer it back to staff.
I'd like to give
Mhm.
neighbors a chance.
I kind of feel like it's very good. I had a problem like this in Anchorage. Cause the earthquake changed like the as-built. My house was designed to the as-built, but over the decades, the land shifted around me. And what we ended up doing was spending extra time finding the surveyors and the people who did the as-built. And we ended over a number of weeks finding the information for moving forward better.
I think it would be reasonable to. A referral back to staff. Seems like the commission has worked with the findings, is generally in favor of granting the variance, but there are some questions that remain that would be.
Yeah, I would say that, this, has been more complicated than I kind of given it credit for when I, was reading through it before the meeting, and, I would like, the opinion on staff on, our interpretations of specifically, Chris Berlin's interpretations, and as well as a chance to read it over, more thoroughly.
I just wanna point out also, that findings are needed if somebody's going to appeal the decision of, the planning commission, so your findings are to be able to like kind of set this in stone, of your reasoning why. So if anybody has, more questions or anything, I can kind of write those questions down. And then, either if you want to approve this variance tonight with the findings and conditions that you, stated, you can, vote on this motion, or you can amend the motion and refer it back to staff, and we can I can work on what you've stated and then bring it back in a special meeting. But we do have 30 days to make this decision, and get the applicants a decision. So,
Would that give the neighbors 30 days to potentially, consult with the surveyor?
well, we would have 30 days to have this completed. There's not, like, it would probably need to come before the 30 days is up. So when we can hold a special meeting, we'd have to be in here doing that, so.
And I don't think there's any way they're gonna get a surveyor here in 30 days.
We do have one right now. Drew, window, certified state.
Yes, go ahead.
I spoken with Mr. Lindell, and he pretty much said, Alice in Wonderland, good luck.
Okay.
So that's known, I did not believe that's stone unturned, and the opinion I got from the newest surveyor in Cordova was, that's hilarious, I'm not doing that.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks for that information,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I misspoke. That'd be, I believe the chair's job would be to put the findings together and then bring them back in front of the commission, so.
Okay.
do we want to just go with what we're doing? Approve it, or do we want to work on it more? Is, big question is, do you have enough information for our findings? Or do we need to
Yeah,
have them written out?
yeah, I have enough information for your findings. You've stated each one of the findings and and also the condition that you want set. So I do have these notes. And we can vote however you would like.
I think I'm still concerned about, it's not like we're at a request for a variance to build a structure closer to a lot line than is, set by the code is one thing, but I guess we have this very specific statement in our code, and I'm not sure. I think that's what makes me most uncomfortable, is that we specifically have a rule against this, and I don't. We can grant variances for new buildings to be closer than the code states. But I guess I'm not sure how are we just ignoring this section of the code? I feel like that should be, I guess you say we don't have to address it, but this could easily come up again. And we are setting a bit of a precedent.
We're giving a variance to them, is what this really is. That's
A
correct.
variance to that rule. But
That's what we're doing with this.
Yeah, would be, you would be me, taking the variance code and then applying that. It wouldn't be, you wouldn't be really addressing the, non-conforming uses. You'd be addressing the variance code and going from there.
right, that's what I say, I can understand doing this for, a new structure. Cause we don't have, that isn't a non-conforming use, but we currently have a non-conforming structure that we are now
Adding on to.
adding to. It's a technicality, but the fact that we have it in the code is what, you know, if we didn't have that sentence, this wouldn't be a big deal.
But then there would be
Well,
code for the variance. That's what the variance is for.
Well, the variance is for the setback, cause we say we want 5 feet from the lot line, that's what the variance is for, to my understanding. That's what the variance is for the
Constructing.
constructing within that 5-foot setback. Cause we wouldn't, I mean, if, on a new structure, we wouldn't allow, we'd need a variance to build within that 5-foot setback as well.
I don't think that we're setting a precedent. I think that town is so messed up with surveys of different buildings. On lot lines, across lot lines, that. The precedent's already been set. I think we're here just to kind of mitigate that for the future. But for. I guess applicant, instead of just as a whole. If there were other extenuating circumstances where, you know, it was like a life and health safety thing, like if it was a snow removal thing or a fire escape thing. I could see something that we would. Probably not do that with, but. I just don't see that on this one. I think the city stands to gain some tax revenue from it. I don't see it being a loss, it means really honestly.
Any other comments? So the motion on the floor right now is, to include findings and, conditions in the planning commission. Okay, so this,
Was the original motion for staff findings?
nope,
It
no,
was for the findings and conditions of the plan.
yeah, okay, and so we've clearly stated each criterion. Stated conditions explain why they accomplish, okay, is there any further discussion, on those findings, have we stated them clearly?
Yeah, they're designated there.
Okay, any further discussion? And this is to move ahead to approve the variance. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sarah? Is she
Sorry.
locked up?
No, I couldn't find my mute button.
Aye.
Never let me, just because I'm uncomfortable with that, non-conforming use, but that this still passes, so. Okay, so the variance passes. Thank you. And. Now we will go move on to item B, vice chair.
No, I may.
Oh,
You,
chair. Tried to get.
actually, yeah,
Okay. Let's see, nominations are now in order for the office of chair of the planning commission.
Madam Chair. I nominate the existing chair to stick around another 2 years, or another year.
Second with her approval.
I consent. Are there any other nominations? Anyone else want to be chair?
Sarah?
I'm good.
Okay, there's no further nominations, let's see. Seconds.
Good.
I don't think we need closing, it's not necessary. Okay, and I think that if, so members must vote on proposed candidates, so we just have a voice vote. All those in favor of me serving one more term,
I,
Aye.
any opposed? Hearing none. I chair for another round. Okay, vice chair, election.
I move to nominate Mark Hall as vice chair with his approval.
second,
No issues to be vice chair.
Excellent. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor of Mark Hall as vice chair? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay. We have elected our vice chair. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, now we have nomination of planning commission member for historical preservation commission.
I move to nominate Chris Rainey.
This commission accept.
I nominate Chris Bowen.
seconded,
I consent.
Any other nominations?
It's a roll call vote.
Hearing none. Okay, we'll do roll call vote for Chris Bolin or Chris Rainey. Right? How that works. Well, oh, so we do one at a time.
he declined.
Oh, you declined.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can do voice vote for us. We can have to do a roll call vote, please. I think we can do a voice.
a voice vote is recommended if there's only one nomination.
Yeah, we can do a voice vote. Okay. All those in favor of Chris Bolin?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, opposed. You are now our new commission member for Historic Preservation Commission. Yeah. Okay. Moving on, the 2026 land disposal map update by resolution. Do you have a motion? Page 62.
Page 11.
Oh, page 11.
I move to approve resolution 2601, recommending that the city council adopt the 2026 land disposal maps as presented with modifications. If we find any.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Hall, would you like to speak to your motion?
I'm guessing we just need to go through them and see if there's anything that we want to change or accept as is.
So New England Cannery Road, that was from our meeting. We designated, ASLS 79263 from unavailable to available requires subdivision.
That's just a little spot there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that little.
Yeah.
little triangle.
The one change, and I don't know if we want to do this or not, that I thought about is down where it says city quarry, burn pile in a non-applicable. Can we add to that? And this may be this is really a staff question. Access to the adjoining area to the north can be through this parcel. So if somebody wants to build a road through that to get up to the top of the hill, that's the only way you're really gonna get up
They
there.
can still bring that to us. That's not,
Yeah.
just because something's
Well,
marked unavailable does
Right.
not mean that it's unavailable.
But I'm saying put a note somewhere in here. Just add that note to this so that people a lot of people won't even realize, well, how am I gonna, I can't get to it. And they won't think of, because it says, not available.
But doesn't it say that in the,
Yeah, you could do whatever you want, but if I'm looking and I see this, hey, there's this orange, but there's no way I'm gonna get to it. Because I've walked along that road, and it's like, no. But hey, wait a minute, if I come through the quarry and go up the hill,
I think that'd probably be. You can suggest that if you'd like to,
and
the,
however, that'd probably be up to
see,
the city council and also at that time, you know, how do you suggest just a roadway be put through
Authorized.
that, just in the middle of this area that's,
so the reason I said that you can already do that, and it already says that,
yeah,
under not available on the
yeah,
cover, on the cover page.
right,
It says the city manager will accept letters of interest from an interested party who requests the property designated to be changed to available, et cetera, et cetera.
So someone could,
could do that, but my issue is. Most people don't read any of that stuff, they look at the lot and they look at the orange and they say, I can't get to the orange.
but I think someone who's interested they would come to the planner
Right.
and they would say, I'm interested in this, but there's no way to get to it, and then you could direct them to read.
If they can't read, you got bigger issues.
Okay, it was just a,
I hear that thought, but yeah, I do think it might be a little too complicated.
And I see exactly what you're saying, because a lot of people don't read the fine print,
well,
And-
don't look at this stuff and know that this stuff's available.
but. Prime example,
Mhm.
I mean, you were here for her lot, right? Yeah.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Are we good leaving that
Yep.
as is for now? Okay.
I was-
Okay, Ocean Dock subdivision, update lease 3 to reflect all lots leased by the state for the ferry dock space and walkway. To parcels 2 and parcel 3, ATS 220. Updated the expiration date on lease 3. Okay,
Question on these two.
Yep.
Expiration date,
yeah, it is correct. They came forward with a. Proposal to purchase, so we, the city council has accepted that and we're in negotiations currently for a purchase of.
I wanted to make sure that I was
Yep.
on the same page.
Yeah,
any other questions, comments? Please, okay. Northfield Development Park, Lot 2, Block 7, Northfield Development Park is leased in 2025. And has been made available in 2026. Remove lease 3 and reordered leases 1 and 2. Updated the expiration date on lease 1.
One green. Have we received proposals?
it closed, the RFPs closed tomorrow, the 3 RFPs that are open.
But have-
So that'll stay until we.
Yeah, it has to stay green until it's
Mhm.
leased, but that may happen before city council gets this.
Well, we would then
Yeah, change it.
we would then bring the proposals to the planning commission for scoring and review, so it would still be quite a process, yeah.
Not years.
Yeah. Any other comments? Questions, concerns? Okay. Tidewater Development Park and Cordova Industrial Park update lease 1 and lease 2 to reflect the new expiration dates for the leases. Any comments, questions, concerns? Okay. Old Town, update lease 1 and lease 2 to reflect the near expiration dates for the leases.
Our questions on Old Town.
Mhm.
There's two lots up next to the water tank.
The lot 2, yeah. On the one that's leased.
Between Fifth and Sixth Street or?
Oh, you're looking at the ones that, okay, yeah,
Water tank,
the green lots by the water tank, yeah.
those are still available.
Yes.
Did we not have application for those and?
We did, and we put out an RFP and then no one put in a proposal.
Cause we had made those available for, I believe. The dentist and.
I talked to him about that after we did get proposals.
Yeah.
Too many conditions. That the city requires, wasn't economical for him to
Understand,
do anything at this time.
okay.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, Southfield Development Park updated lease 1 and lease 2 to reflect the new expiration dates on the leases. Let's see. Comments, questions, and concerns?
Looks good.
Okay, Odiak Slough, no change. White Shed Road. City Council gave the direction at the regular meeting on Wednesday, December 17th to redesignate 1,400 square foot portion of the wastewater treatment facility, tract A, USS 833 from unavailable to available.
That's a little thanks.
Yep, it's hard to see. Any comments, questions, concerns? Okay.
I do see on this, on the map that says White Shed, there are the lots, it's 1 and 2, block 5 of Odiak Park. For some reason on this map, it's showing that they're in red, but those were available previously and there's an RFP out for them, so those just an error that I made. Those should be available, I think
I
there's
see
green
green.
On Odiak Park,
on Odiak Park and on White Shed, they're showing up red.
Right.
So that's an error I made, and if you agree to that, I can fix those.
We did that last time.
Yeah, they were
That's just
previously, it
errors
was just
here.
an error,
Yeah, but it's not,
on-
nothing changed.
Nothing changed, I'm just seeing that
Okay,
those, for some reason are red on this.
okay, so we're in agreement, those stay green,
Stay-
simply a typo with the coloring.
Yeah.
I'm right going.
Okay. Odiak Park, lot 15A, block 5, Odiak Park subdivision is leased March 28th, 2025. To and updated remnant parcel along the Fever to reflect as city property.
question on that one,
Yeah,
that's the one that the Rydell's and Renners are,
it's the one that's right next to that, there's a tiny little sliver, yeah.
but. The one in green next to that, that is the one that is,
Yeah,
is that in negotiation?
so it's at the title company, it's just not signed yet, so. There's quite a few of those from last year that are ready to be signed anytime, they're just not done yet, they're at the title company, just.
So realistically, we still have to keep it available.
We do have to keep it, in this status until things are final.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, Park Creek Road, no change. And yeah, Lake, no change. And 5 Mile Loop, track 9B, ASLS 7335 was leased on May 5th, 2025, for 5-year term expiring May 5th, 2030. Any other
Got one back.
comments, questions, concerns? Okay.
Sorry, also too, my statement on Odiak Park. Don't have to keep the lot available, you can do what you want as a planning commission, however. The deal is just not finalized.
Yeah, no, I think I mean. Just because it's already signed doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So, I'm good with that.
They're gonna have, put an application in, they have to come in and talk to her. Say it's.
Yeah. And that's just the way it works, and I understand that, you know, you can back out at any time.
Yeah.
Before it's signed, so
Okay,
life happens.
do we have any further discussions on the maps? Ready? So all those in favor of approving resolution 2601,
So. The motion was stated, with changes.
If we have any, we have none, so we're not.
So. Do you want to read?
The staff changes or? Our change?
If we were gonna make any changes, I just wanted to have it in there. In case we wanted to make changes. So now I need to amend my motion to say. As presented by staff.
Madam Chair.
Or just, you can read this motion as that,
Right.
that's given if you'd like.
I had, before we vote on that, I had one, I was just looking at the Powder Creek Road map, and I did notice that small sliver lot along the lake, would that not get leased?
Let me look.
oh, that's the one that we're talking
Available.
about, that's the one
Oh.
that hasn't been signed yet.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
So that's why it's
Yeah.
still green, so once it's, we can't change it, so it's done.
So it has been signed, it's just at the title company.
Oh, okay.
So, yes,
I know how
That
goes.
one might
It takes a
change.
while.
yeah.
To sold before. It gets to city council. That one could. But we're gonna say. She did a good job, fixed the colors, and everything's fine.
Yeah, if anyone is interested, they'll come and they'll find out that it's.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
I move to approve resolution 26-1 recommending that the city council adopt the 2026 land disposal maps as presented.
okay, so you made the original motion
I withdrew it.
and you withdrew it, okay, so now we have a new motion, okay, all those in favor?
alright,
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, okay, our land disposal maps. Are now recommended to council, so. Now,
Aye.
any audience comments? Thank you. Okay, commission comments, we'll go around the room, Commissioner Bullen.
Thank you for everybody's time. It's always good to see, movement forward and various different things. Good to have the public here. And I just appreciate everybody's time, especially Amanda's, she is doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Commissioner Booty.
Yeah, thank you guys, thanks for showing.
What he said.
Commissioner Hall, okay. Commissioner Tomato.
yeah, thanks staff for putting together another wonderful. Packet, and yeah, it's the first time I think we kind of like reviewed various. Like this, so it's kind of eye-opening and interesting, but I think a good decision. Didn't seem like the neighbors were too upset about it, so hopefully we're not setting a new precedent. But yeah, overall. Yeah, a good conclusion.
Commissioner Ready?
Yeah, like Sean said, bit of a learning experience this one, but I'm glad everyone was able to get out here to the meeting and yeah, thanks. Thanks Amanda, thanks to the rest of the staff.
Commissioner Sembley?
Did you say my name?
Oh, yes, we're just asking for commissioner comment.
Okay. Yeah, so thanks to staff. Sorry I wasn't there, just feeling under the weather and didn't want to expose anybody. So I will be there next month. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
One more.
Yeah.
Thank you and you for another term and also for being chair and vice chair.
Thank you for being on the historical preservation. Okay, and I will also, thanks to Amanda for putting together a great packet, and thanks to all the commissioner members, thank you for putting up with me for another term. And
And Chair, I move to adjourn.
wonderful, okay, we are adjourned at 7:39.
That is.
Oh.